Every once in a while, I come across a product that's so new and different that I just lack the words to describe it, like a caveman seeing a jet fighter for the first time. Recently, OBSBOT reached out to me and asked if I'd like to try out the new OBSBOT Tail Air. Is it a webcam? Yes. Is it a 4K video camera? Yes. Is it a gimbal stabilized H.265 production video platform? Yes. Is it a remotely operated PTZ camera with super high quality local 4K recording? Yep. And is it a completely wireless, battery-powered NDI streaming stick-up camera? It's that too. After playing with this device for a little while, I still don't know exactly what to call it. But what I can tell you is it replaces just about every other device in my Creator camera bag and then some. It's a remarkably small and incredibly powerful little pocket-sized 4K gimbal camera for content creation and video capture in studio or on the go. For about 4 months now, I've been going to different events with this camera. With each event, I learned a little bit more about the many uses of the Tail Air and the fact that it's really good at just about everything. I first went to a men's conference with many inspiring and well-known speakers. I realized they didn't have anyone there to record their presentations, so the next day I packed up my camera bag with 2 OBSBOT Tail Airs, 2 large memory cards, and 2 power banks. I figured it was going to be a long day and I didn't have access to power. I placed one OBSBOT Tail Air in the front row, taking up one seat, and set it to automatically follow the presenter for a perfect close-up shot. The other camera was placed on a taller tripod at the end of the main aisle for a great alternative wide shot. Between the two, I was amazed at the automatic tracking smoothness and ease of use. From my seat in the back of the hall in the audience, I could actually wirelessly connect to either camera and check its feed and start and stop recording between presenters. After the event, I cut raw videos for each person and sent it to their media teams to enjoy for later use. When my daughter recently had a choir concert, I was asked to record the event for some parents that were deployed overseas and couldn't attend. The Tail Air worked magically at capturing a close-up view, strapped conveniently to a metal support pole near the front. Along with my Canon 4K zoom camera for a main shot, the Tail Air provided a unique and remotely controllable view for some audience participation during the event. The next challenge was my church. We have an 8-channel live HDMI video switcher, though the OBSBOT at this point had only been used for recording. The mini HDMI output of this device is probably one of the weak links. Mini HDMI cables are horribly unreliable and just finicky. I went with a wireless HDMI solution that had worked in the studio before, but ultimately it just didn't connect. So I had one running as a wide-angle camera at the booth, and I went with the recording tracked version up front, just like the last event. It provided a very unique perspective, though I knew there had to be a better way. And my most challenging and ultimately best experience with the Tail Air was filming a high school graduation ceremony. This event was at a local church, however, I couldn't use any of their existing on-site wired video equipment. Additionally, the organizers asked me to stream it live, something I wasn't sure the challenging site was going to allow, given I couldn't run video cables down the aisle and the venue was very large and I was going to be by myself. The big unlock here was using the new NDI HX3 capability in the Tail Air. I grabbed a simple consumer-grade Wi-Fi router and then set up each camera on a support pole in the venue before the show. While the Tail Air has over 90 minutes of battery life, which is more than capable of using, I knew these events go longer than 2 hours in the past, so I had some backup USB power banks to power the devices. With my 4K Canon as the zoomed view, I was able to use OBS on my MacBook Pro and join the 2 super low latency OBSBOT feeds into a 3-camera orchestrated live stream with no trouble at all. The result was even better than I expected. The convenient mobile app supports wireless control of the camera angles, and location presets make single operator control a push-button operation. For ease of use, if you don't want to use a phone or iPad to control the show, they have an optional wireless remote available. And for wired Ethernet connections, they have Ethernet adapters to reduce latency even further and improve reliability. Oh, and did I also mention that the Tail Air is a really good webcam? No drivers are needed, just plug the camera in and let it know you want to be in UVC mode. While HDMI and SDI have been the standards for video in the past, the Tail Air has many more protocols jammed into this little unit. If RTSP or RTMP are your thing, you can wirelessly dial into this and run a stream directly there, or broadcast live streams directly to platforms from the camera. The unit features a built-in battery with 2.5 hours of local recording time under ideal conditions, but can easily record full 4K 30 video for 90 minutes without missing a beat. And if you pair it with a decent-sized power bank or USB power brick and a large microSD card, you can record long events as long as you have storage. With H.264 and H.265 encoding support in the camera, a 256 gig card can last a full days of recording. So whatever you want to call it, this OBSBOT is a versatile creator's tool, equally at home in the studio or on the go, or a daily use as a webcam. I wanted to thank OBSBOT for sharing this wonderful hardware with me and giving me the opportunity to experience their latest and greatest offering. For schools, churches, and other budget-conscious video needs, this is one tool that will greatly improve your production quality without breaking the bank. This has been John the Net Guy, and now you know about the OBSBOT Tail Air.